let's check our work on 1 through 3. Are there any issues on 1, 2, or 3? Number 3 has 3 terms. It does not have a GCF. So you do factors of the back number that add or subtract to be the middle number. And 1 minus 4 would be negative 3. Anybody else on 1, 2, or 3? Okay, let's look at number 4. Number 4 is a little bit different. We haven't gone over one like this. This is the very last type of factoring. How many terms are on number 2? Or number 4? 2. Do they have a GCF? No. They have a GCF of 1. That is true. What do you notice about 81 though?
It's square root.
So this is the difference of 2 squares. So in order to do that, you do 2 sets of parentheses. The letter is first, so it's going to come first in your parentheses.
All right.
And what's the square root of 81? 9 and 9.
Plus and minus.
Plus and minus, because 9 minus 9 is 0, and 9 times negative 9 is negative 81. Y'all okay with that one? Okay, what about number 5? How many terms are there? 4.
You group these.
Yep.
Make sure the minus sign is set.
Yep.
Then you get 6x cubed.
Uh-huh.
Put a parenthesis.
Yep. Uh-huh.
They're not the same.
They're not the same. So that does not mean that you got it wrong, because we did everything right. Most of the time it means that you did something wrong. But in this case, you didn't do anything wrong, because I meant for it to be like this. So we remember what it was called if we could not factor it. Start with a P.
No.
Start with a P. If we could not factor it, it's not called factoring. Prime. Very good, Ivy. Very good. Look at you. It was called prime. If it will not factor, it's called prime.
That's a throwback.
That is a throwback. Now, in Algebra 2 with Trig, we will learn how to take that further. We just haven't learned yet, so we're going to leave that alone. All right, number 6 has 4 terms.
Yep, you're going to group it again.
Yeah.
Make sure you got that minus up with the second group.
Yep.
Then on that first group, you're going to take out 5. No, you're just going to take out x.
4x, yep.
Take out 4x. Therefore, you are left with x plus 5.
Perfect.
Then with that second group, you're going to take out 3y.
Minus 3y. Yep. And you just got to be careful when you divide those out, right?
You're going to be left with x plus 5.
Perfect.
And then your group is going to be 4x minus 3y.
Perfect.
And x plus 5.
Awesome. Very nice job. How are we doing on factoring? Y'all okay?
I think we're bald.
Okay, our math workshop test this quarter is going to be on nothing but factoring and radicals down here. Factoring and radicals. That's pretty much all that's going to be on there, okay?
I don't remember. All right, here we did the back door thing.
Yeah, so Bella, there's 3 terms, right, with no GCF. That's why we do the back number.
2 and 30. 2 and 52. I know that's 32.
It's 32.
4 and 16, 8 and 8.
Okay, which one adds or subtracts?
It'd be 8 now.
How?
Negative 8,
Yeah.
negative 8.
Negative 8 and negative 8. But
E.
you will never see that as a multiple choice question. No.
32 minus negative 8.
Squared. Perfect. 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 T minus 8 squared.
Look at us.
Because they're the exact same thing. It's different on 4. Number 4, they were not the same thing. One was plus and one was minus, right? All right, let's look at number 8. Last one. Square root of 144 is 12.
It'd be 12 minus u.
Yes.
12 plus u.
Why does it matter the order? One of them it matters, one of them it does not matter.
Because the commutative properties.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. Commutative proper. Very good. Plus addition is commutative, right? Give me a number, any number.
33.
33 and
17.
7. Golly. Okay.
Oh, no, I just want
All right. What's 33 plus 17?
Then you got 50.
50. What's 17 plus 33?
You got 50.
They're the same thing, right? Let's subtract them.
you got 16,
Perfect.
and you've got negatives.
And negative 16. They're not the same thing, right?
They are not.
So that is why it is a huge deal that you write the subtraction 12 minus u, not u minus 12. It does not matter on addition. If you want to, you could write u plus 12 if you wanted to. Same thing on addition. Did it got good? Y'all okay? I don't know. Some people do. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so is it because the U is at the end of this one that you place the
Yes,
one
ma'am.
first?
Yes, ma'am. Yep, the number came first on this one versus number 4, the letter came first on that one. All right, y'all okay? All right, so tomorrow, let's talk about tomorrow. You ready? Tomorrow, get to school like you normally do. You get to school like you normally do. Probably a little early because some of us need to look in the lobby and see where we're going tomorrow, right? And then we're going to do testing all day tomorrow. Take it seriously because it is a big deal because the next ACT is October 28th. And that's going to be a big deal for some of us because October and December might be some of our best scores that we've had so far since we've had some Algebra II now. Then I won't see you tomorrow because most of you will leave. When we get back on Thursday, normal day on Thursday, we will have a quiz on Thursday. Let's talk about what our quiz is going to be on. Let's look at our learning targets. On Friday, we learned 3 things. What was the first thing we learned on Friday? Look at your learning targets. Go. Easy stuff, right? That was what your homework was on?
2 by 4.
2 by 3, 2 by 2, 3 by 4, whatever, right? That was easy stuff.
Yeah.
What was the next thing?
I can solve equations.
That was the bottom half of your homework,
I didn't
page
understand
3,
some of that.
right? Where were you at this morning?
I was
We're going to talk about that. So what's the next thing that's going to be on your quiz?
I could add and subtract matrices.
How did you add and subtract matrices? What had to happen before you can add and subtract?
You
What
gotta
had...
press the second button.
No.
And then press matrix.
No. What had to happen before we could add and subtract matrices? They had to be the same dimensions, right? If they were not the same dimensions, we could not add or subtract them,
Like infinitive or something.
and therefore we would call it impossible. Very good. And then today, we are going to learn how to multiply matrices, and that is going to be what's going to be on your quiz on Thursday. Are you allowed to use a graphing calculator
No, you're
on your
not.
quiz?
No,
No.
you're not.
Are you allowed to use one on your test?
Yeah.
Yes, you are. Test will be next week. Did you got it good?
I'm going to hit you with a zinger right here.
Page 3. Where did you get there? Page 3 was your homework over the weekend. Since page 5 are the page of notes that we are doing today. Since I will not see you tomorrow, since you have a quiz on Thursday, your homework page 3 will be due on Thursday. That way you can keep those notes to study with. Got it? It will be the first grade of the quarter. Do not slip on Thursday. All right, here we go. Page 5. Yes, ma'am. It's pretty much the same thing as the ACT. You can use your graphing ones on the on those. All right, page 5. Everybody with me? All right, here we go. Let's try to get through this stuff pretty quickly. All right, so the very first thing, guys, the very first thing that is going to be on your quiz is stating the dimensions. Y'all okay with that?
See,
And I told you it was so easy, but it was so important. So we got to do the same thing here on number 1. They don't have to be exactly the same in order to multiply. But something has got to be real special about their dimensions. So what are the dimensions of number 1?
2 by 2.
2 by 2. What are the dimensions of the
1
second
by
one?
2.
2 by 2.
2 by 2. All right? So when we do that, here's what has to happen. When you add or subtract them, they have to be exactly the same. When you multiply, the inside numbers have to be the same. Do we have the same inside numbers?
No.
Yes.
Yes, our dimensions are the same inside numbers.
Oh, I thought you meant the one in.
Like,
The
think
ones that
I've
I
got
underlined,
3.
the ones that I underlined, they have to be the same number, and they are. The outside 2 numbers, those tell you the dimensions of your answer. So what are my dimensions of the answer? 2 by 2. So if you are visual, which most of you in here are, it is going to be very beneficial to do this first until we get the hang of it. Huh? Because I've done this long enough and I know most of you learn that way.
She's taught us here this 2 years ago.
Would you say that order numbers were?
They're the dimensions of your answer. Alright, so just for giggles, before we start anything, let me show you what I mean by that with one that's not the same. Let's look at number 5. What are the dimensions of this first one on number 5?
About 3
by 2.
It's row by column. It's 3 by 2. What are the dimensions of the second one?
2 by 2.
2 by 2. Are the inside numbers of your dimensions the same?
Yes.
Yes. So your answer would be your outside numbers, which is row by column. So how many rows do I have?
3.
3 rows. And how many columns? 2 columns. Does that make a little bit more sense when they're not exactly the same? Alright, number 7. Do you know when you start typing stuff on the computer and you type a word wrong and it like underlines it with that red squiggly stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so the computer thought that this was wrong, and that's why I put this little squiggly thing right there. It don't mean anything. It just means that it was, the computer thought it was wrong. Does that make sense to everybody?
So it's a 1 by 3.
So this is a 1 by 3. Very good. What's the size of number 7?
3 by 2.
Look at your inside numbers.
They're different.
They are different. So it is impossible. Perfect. Is anybody lost about what I mean by the dimensions now? Okay, so here we go. Let's look back at number 1. It might help if you had 2 colors, especially when you're getting started.
So these colors pop and beat.
Purple and black. Or you can use the 2 regular pens. If you want, you can use those 2 regular pens. Alright, everybody ready? Alright, here we go. So, you have to look at where your answer is. This first answer is in the top row, correct? So we're going to use the top row, 4 and 1.
Do you circle that with highlight?
You can if you want to. And this first answer right here is in the first column. So it's in the first row and the first column. So we're still doing this row by column, just like we always did, row by column.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to multiply the first number here, which is 4, times the first number on the other one, which is 3. What's 4 times 3? 12.
That's a good arrow.
And then we're going to add multiplying the other number. What's the second number in this one? 1 and 0. Multiply that, and you get 0. Add them together, and you get 12. It's not hard. It can be a little confusing, though. All right, let's look at this one right here. This guy right here, he's also in that top row, right? So we're going to still use that 4 and 1, but he's in the second column. So I'm going to use
4, 1, 0, 3.
very good.
So it'll be.
So you need to multiply the first. Hold on. You need to multiply the first number here times the first number here. What's 4 times 0? 0. Then you multiply the second number here by the second number here. Add them together, and you get your answer. All right, switch to a different color. All right, now let's look at this guy right here. This guy is in the bottom row,
We're
right?
going to use bottom row.
So we're going to use the -2 and the 3. Perfect. And he is in the first column, so I'm going to use that 3 and 0. So we're going to multiply the first number here, which is -2, and the first number on the other one, which is 3. That gives me -6.
Oh, no, -6.
-2 and, oh, yes, slow down. And then you multiply the second number, 3, by the second number, 0. Add them together.
-C.
Yep.
And then you do the bottom
Okay.
row.
So this
and
is
the
still on the
second column.
still on the bottom row, And now he's in the second column. Very good. So we're going to
2
use,
times 0.
yes,
0.
negative 2 times 0 is 0,
Plus 9.
and 3 times 3 is 9.
You get 9, and then you actually.
Yeah. You all okay?
And then you have 12, 3, negative 6,
Yep. All right, let's do number 2. Let's do number 2. Ready? All right, here we go. What's the size of this first one? 2 by 2. And the second one? And now, if we were to add or subtract those, they have to be exactly the same, right? So we could add or subtract those, no problem. But in order to multiply, they have to have the inside dimensions have to be the same. And they are. So the outside dimension numbers are the size of your answer. So what's the size of my answer? There you go. And once you get the hang of this, you probably don't need to draw these lines anymore. I think most of you could probably skip actually writing down the 12 plus 0, the negative 6 plus 0, but it still might help to draw these. I don't know what it is, but if you're visual, it really helps to draw those lines at least, okay? All right, here we go. Ready? This guy right here is in the top row, so we're going to use negative 1, 0. And he's in the first column, so we're going to use 3, negative 1. Y'all okay so far? All right, so we're going to multiply the negative 1 times the 3.
Negative 3.
Yeah.
Plus 0.
And then 0 times negative 1 is 0. Very good. Add them together.
Negative 3.
Perfect.
And then you have negative.
All right, hold on. So then we got still the first row, but now it's in the second column. So negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. And 0 times 4 is 0. Y'all okay? I told you it was easy. Just be a little confusing if you don't look at it right. All right, now we're going to the bottom row. So now we're going to use the 3 and 7. And the 3 and negative 1. So 3 times 3 is 9. And 7 times negative 1. Add them together.
2.
Perfect.
Then you do 3 and 7.
Yep. So then this guy is in the last row and the last column. So you get 3 and 7. And 2 and 4, right? Y'all okay with that? All right, let's see. So we got 3 times 2.
6.
And 7 times 4.
28.
Add them together and you get?
34.
Y'all try number 3. Y'all try number 3. Try number 3 on your own, okay?
Or independent.
You're independent.
Can I go to number 4 for independent? Yes.
You try number 3, okay?
So.
Okay, so you should have gotten 7 and negative 7 for the top row. And 14 and 14 for the bottom row. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's look at the next ones because they're a teensy bit different. Alright, here we go. Number 4. Same thing, guys. Or do y'all want, let's go ahead and do number 5 since we started that one. Y'all okay with that? Alright, so here we're same thing. Alright, this guy right here, he's in the first row. So we're going to use 3 and negative 2. And he's in the first column. So we're going to use 1 and 2. Are y'all okay? Alright, so we have 3 times 1. And negative 2 times 2.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we skipped number 4. Just because we already
I
started
thought we
5.
were on 8. I saw 3 and I'm like, what is good?
Alright, same thing here. What row is this one in? It's in the first row. What column is it in? Second. There you go. Alright, so we have 3 times 2. And negative 2 times 1 is minus 2. Very good.
Then you
Y'all okay so far? You want to keep going on your own? Okay. Keep going. Keep going.
are going this way.
What?
Never mind. We're all good. What is 6 plus negative 2? Is that okay if I just switch to 6 minus 2?
Yeah. Okay, there's the answer for number 5. All okay? All right. What's wrong?
You the second and third.
Second and third row. Okay, so this is in the second row, so I use 0, 4. It's in the first column, so I use 1, 2. So 0 times 1 is 0. 4 times 2 is 8. Add them together and you get 8. All right, this guy's in the second row, the second column. So I use 0 and 4, and 2 and 1. So 0 times 2 is 0. 4 times 1 is 4. You get 4. Okay, if you don't have a calculator already, go grab a graphing calculator real quick so that we can review how to do these on our calculator for our test. So this is in the third row, so I'm going to use negative 5 and 1. And this is in the first column, so I'm going to use 1, 2. So negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. And 1 times 2 is 2. Add them together to get negative 3.
Are we using number 5 to do the...
Yes.
I know I don't like all the
All right, y'all ready? Yes, ma'am. What part?
Like, what do you multiply with what? How do you multiply with that?
Yeah, but I don't.
The answer is in the third row and the first column. So you'd multiply the third row by the first column. First number times first number, second number times second number.
Okay, so you don't like repeat it, you don't like to do negative 5 times 1 and negative 5 times 2?
No. Alright, you got your calculators ready? Turn them on.
They're all.
Okay, now on your quiz Thursday, you are not allowed to use the graphing calculator. You got to do it with your brain. But on your test, yes, you can use that one. On your test, you are allowed to use it because there are some things that we are going to get to which they're crazy without a calculator, and I'm not going to make you do them without a calculator,
Thank
okay?
you.
So let's check these. So we go second matrix.
Edit.
We go over to edit.
You go to one.
What, Luke? You sure? Okay. Go over to edit, hit enter,
Wait, which number are we checking?
the number 5.
Gotcha.
All right, what are the dimensions of the first matrix?
3 by 2.
So 3, enter, 2, enter. And then type your numbers. 3, enter, negative 2, enter, 0, enter, 4, enter, negative 5, enter, and 1, enter. And then we go back to matrix. We go over to edit, but we're not going to edit the first one. We're going to edit the second one. There you go. What's the size of the second one? 2 by 2. Perfect. But then your calculator right now, if you go back to matrix and try to hit enter, your calculator's going to wig out because it's in edit mode.
You gotta
So you-
go quit.
Second quit to get out of edit mode.
Then you go to matrix.
Second matrix, yep.
You press enter on.
And what operation are we doing?
We're gonna multiply.
We are multiplication. Very
Then
good.
you go back to matrix.
Yeah.
You go down to E.
Yeah.
You press enter.
Perfect.
Then you press enter again.
Perfect.
Negative 1, 4, 8, 4, negative 3, negative
Perfect. You all okay?
Yes.
What were to happen if you were to plug in number 7? What would your calculator tell you?
3.
It would tell you what, Bella? It will tell you error, right? And so that would tell you that either 1, you did something wrong, or 2, it would be impossible. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so here's what I need you to do. You ready? We are going to do numbers 4, 6, 8, and 9. So the remaining 4 problems, we are going to do them in our head first to practice for our quiz. And as soon as you get the answer, check it in your calculator. You got it good, y'all? Okay. All right. When you finish those 4, and you have checked all 4 in your calculator, what is the next thing we are going to do after we finish all 9? Yes, in workbook, page 39, 1, 3, 8, and 10. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will not I will not check those 4 answers. What I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to post those 4 answers on Google Classroom for you to check them so that you can make sure that you studied appropriately for your quiz on Thursday. Does that make sense to everyone?
Hold
Hello?
on. How do we do 3 or 4?
Hold on. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so what is due on Thursday?
Homework from last night.
Homework from Friday, page 3, right? And quiz on Thursday. All right, if you want to work with a partner, you can. We have about 15 minutes left to finish those 4 and to start on our homework. Yes, Luke.
So that's so it's going to be 2 by 3, gosh.
Which one?
4.
Yes, you be a 2 by 3. Yes.
2 by 3.
Yeah. So 3 by 3 and a 3 by 2. Yes, you can.
Is that what the 2 by 3 looks like?